Welcome to the podcast. Today, we're diving into the fascinating world of GLP-1 agonists. You've probably heard about them as game changers for type 2 diabetes and, more recently, for significant weight loss. But how do they actually work their magic? It's not just about making you feel less hungry, it's about changing what you want to eat. Intrigued? Let's explore. So these drugs get to work in your brain's command centers. Think of the hypothalamus and hindbrain as key areas controlling your appetite. GLP-1 agonists activate receptors there, essentially telling your brain, hey, we're full. They boost signals from neurons that promote satiety, the feeling of fullness, and quiet down the neurons that drive hunger. Specifically, they stimulate what are known as POMC and CART neurons, which are like satiety messengers, and they inhibit NPY and AGRP neurons, which are hunger instigators. But here's where it gets really interesting. It's not just about feeling full. GLP-1 agonists also tap into your brain's reward system. This is the part of your brain, including areas like the ventral tegmental area and the nucleus accumbens, that makes you crave that sugary donut or greasy burger. By acting on these areas, these drugs can actually dial down the rewarding value of these highly palatable foods, particularly those high in fat and sugar. Suddenly, that extra slice of cake might not seem so irresistible. Animal studies confirm that GLP-1 action in these regions can decrease both hunger-driven feeding and the pleasure-seeking value of food. The influence doesn't stop there. The amygdala, a brain region involved in the emotional and motivational aspects of eating, also expresses these GLP-1 receptors. This means GLP-1 signaling in the amygdala might contribute to reducing appetite and could even influence emotional eating patterns by affecting dopamine signals. Plus, GLP-1 secreted from your gut can send signals to your brain via the vagus nerve, which connects to the brain's nucleus tractus solitarius. This pathway is another important player in making you feel full and can influence your food choices. So how does this all translate to you actually choosing different foods? Firstly, as we said, cravings for high-energy, palatable foods often decrease because they're just not as rewarding. Secondly, and this is cutting-edge research, GLP-1 might directly alter your taste perception. Yes, GLP-1 receptors have been found right on taste bud cells. Animal studies suggest GLP-1 can change how the body responds to sweet and umami tastes. For instance, mice without these receptors showed reduced nerve responses to sweet things, but increased sensitivity to umami. This points to a complex role for GLP-1 in how we sense taste, potentially shaping our food choices at a very basic sensory level. There's also a concept called conditioned taste aversion. Some studies show that GLP-1 in the brain can lead to avoiding certain tastes, especially sweet ones. And finally, these drugs significantly delay gastric emptying. This means food stays in your stomach longer, contributing to a prolonged feeling of fullness. This naturally makes you less likely to seek out additional food, especially those highly palatable snacks between meals. What's truly remarkable is that this influence on reward pathways might go beyond food. Preclinical studies suggest that GLP-1 receptor agonists could also reduce the rewarding effects of substances like alcohol, cocaine, amphetamines, and nicotine, hinting at a much broader role in how our brains handle reward-related behaviors. And these drugs often work even better in combination with other hormonal actions. For example, dual GIP-GLP-1 receptor agonists, like tirzepatide, which target another hormone called GIP, are showing even greater efficacy in weight loss and blood sugar control. This enhanced effect might come from a more powerful activation of these satiety pathways in the brain. So to sum it up, GLP-1 agonists are far from being simple appetite suppressants. They orchestrate a complex change within your neurobiology. They turn up the volume on fullness signals in the hypothalamus and hindbrain, crucially turn down the reward value of tempting, energy-dense foods via the mesolimbic system, and might even change how food tastes to you. All these combined actions contribute to a significant shift in eating behavior, favoring less calorie-dense options and powerfully supporting weight management. It's a truly fascinating insight into the intricate ways our brains and bodies are interconnected. Thanks for tuning in.